What the fuck, America? I mean, seriously, what the fuck's wrong with this country? You know, the wife and I and our fat homeless cat living in a beat up old 20-year-old RV, trying to get ourselves on our feet. Got a chance to go rent a nice house, looking at it, got a great ad on Craigslist. Turns out to be a scam. I mean, I know there's scammers. There's scammers everywhere. And this just proves the fact that they are everywhere, and they know no limit, no bounds. They will scam your dead grandmother if they could figure out a way to get it. In this particular situation, I saw the ad. My sister sent me the ad saying this, this little house was for rent, and the rent was, well, just way too good to be true. We went and looked at it, and I looked at the house from the street, and I thought, Jesus, that's an awful nice house for this low rent as they're asking. And I contacted the person on the Craigslist ad and asked about, what the particulars were, and they sent back a questionnaire, and everything looked like the sort of thing, pre-renters agreement, background check kind of stuff, that kind of thing, no big deal. And they wanted to know how much I'd be willing to send in advance to take the ad down off of Craigslist until we got things finalized. And, I pride myself as being a bit savvy person and not being a total idiot, but it's bloody freezing here. It's 3, 4 below right now, 6 below here in the Midwest, and I can see my breath, and even though I've got a kerosene heater and an electric heater going in this thing, it's still butt cold. And it will not get that overly warm in here most of the day. This is hence the reason multi-layers of clothes and thermals, and I got a hat my late mother knitted for me and some gloves to work with because it's, like I said, it's below zero outside. So in here it's probably 10 degrees, 15 maybe. I don't have a thermometer, and I'm not planning to put one in here because it just makes you feel even colder than what it is if you know. This is in a bottle of stuff you use to clean your laptop and cell phone and stuff off, and it's pretty much frozen. Sitting here by the window, and the single pane of glass that passes for a window in these 1990 freaking RV, whatever the heck you want to call it, Ford Conquest. I'm not sure. They've got 4 different names for the damn thing, so it's hard for me to be for 100% sure which it is that actually is what this thing is. There, right? Anyhow, so I'm going to run a scam on a fucking homeless person. That's how bad things are. That's how desperate or twisted or evil or messed up. And when the scammers are, there's no Robin Hoods in the world. Don't kid yourself. Don't ever kid yourself. There are no freaking Robin Hoods in the goddamn world. How do you scam homeless people or somebody desperate like that? I mean, and yet they do. Fortunately, my sister, who I don't always get along with well, is a busybody who makes it her business to look into everything that she could think of, as long as it doesn't involve getting out of her couch and away from her laptop. So she checked with the county's assessor's office, discovered nobody by the name of the person, and Ruby, whatever the hell it is, Thomas Ruby, whatever the hell his name was, claimed to be renting a property, even owned a property, let alone this particular one. She discovered that there was a rental company advertising the exact same address, exact same house, even the same damn pictures. And they wanted twice the money that the Craigslist ad said they wanted. And so, there you go. We know it's a scam. And therefore, it's been reported to Craigslist, and my sister contacted the rental company and said, hey, you got a bogus whatever going on out there. The scammer will never get caught, but you have to wonder, how many hundreds of dollars this one little scheme of this person's has paid off. Maybe none, maybe a lot. Maybe I was the first one to catch it and shut it down, and maybe not. I don't know. It just frustrated me to no end. I mean, seriously, what the fuck is wrong with this goddamn country and the people in this goddamn country? And you see it at all levels and all layers. Everybody scams everybody else. and they can call it whatever they want to call it. They can smooth it out. They use fancy terminology and word for it, but that's the same damn truth. This is where you get a large contingent of a certain conservative party who goes on and on about how the minimum wage is too low, or is too high as it is, and how these are entry level jobs for children, for high school kids, and they know better. They know better. They know the lion's share of the people waiting on them in the restaurants and at McDonald's and serving it, in convenience stores and doing work in most of your retail chains, all making subsistence living that were never so for a bunch of early entry level jobs designed for supposedly high school kids or college kids looking for part time work, are supporting a third or a quarter of the nation's workforce. And you wonder why people are pushing for higher wages. Now, I always like to be the realistic liberal conservative nut job here, so we'll go both sides on this coin. Granted, a lot of states are jacking the minimum wage up $15. It's not happened in Iowa yet. I don't care what anybody thinks, that it did not happen in a state. It's still $7.25 here. Although the average job is about $9 here, because you can't get anybody to work for $7.25. They know better. The work environment, there's far more jobs than there are people, and they don't have to pay. They don't have to take that money. So majority of people in the state who want to work are working, and those who are working won't settle for less. My own job pays $14.50 an hour, which is above average, compared to the minimum wage here, but now below minimum wage compared to other states. Now, for me, having worked a lot of hard scrabble jobs in my lifetime, this technically is one of the best paying jobs I've ever had when you figure the overtime in. When I can get overtime. There's the downside. There's a lot of hours, a lot of weeks where if I'm lucky, I'm only getting 20 or 25 hours, and that's not enough to pay the bills. Hence one of the reasons we're still in this thing 8-9 months after my mother passed away. We just bought this. We just bought this a year back in December of last year, and it was never meant to be a rolling residence. By the laws of the state, technically that makes us homeless. And because of that, there are a lot of issues and problems we run into on a regular basis, especially since winter came and most of the state parks, all the state parks are closed. There's very few public or privately owned campgrounds that are open year-round, and those that are either require an expensive membership and an expensive daily fee, or just an expensive daily fee. The only one currently open within 15 or 20 miles of my job, which makes it viable for possible, getting back and forth, wants $40 a day. $40 a day. See, so only rich people, well-off people, can afford to live off the, go RVing permanently kind of thing. And so we stay where we can until they run us out. And that's the problem. They run us out a lot. You go here, you go there, and they say go park here, you go park there, and then somebody comes up at some point, knocks on your door and says, get the hell out. You can't stay here. You can't be here every day. So it's a bitch. It sucks. Life sucks. And then you get scammed, or people try to scam, and they continue to try to scam. And so the wealthy people scamming the poor people. The politicians are scamming everybody. Everybody's now, we're in that kind of environment where the decent people of the country struggle every day, and in part we're forced to scam other people, to lie, cheat, steal, and misrepresent just to get by. And this is the kind of environment we've encouraged and we've been developing for the last 25 years. It just keeps getting worse, and I don't get it. I don't get it, America. What the hell's wrong? This is how great empires fall. This is some point we're on that slow, gradual slope that's going to take us to the abyss, and then in a decade or in 50 years or 100 years, this country as we know it will not exist. Will be something else. Will be part of somebody else, or we'll all be nuclear ashes, depending on how some of our insane politicians and our even more insane foes like North Korea dictate. So maybe I got a leg up at that point. I'm already used to roughing it. So when there's no power grid and there's no Walmart and there's no McDonald's, I've already got a step ahead. But I'm not a prepper. I'm too old for that crap now. I just, too old for it. Don't want to ever see it. There was a time when I thought, what if, but not now. No. I just want a better place for my wife and my damn cat and myself, and to get fucked over and scammed. Fortunately, like I said, I did not send any money, and have no intentions of sending money in advance. The downside of this is it makes you colored. It makes you cautious. So when a good opportunity does come up, and somebody says, "Well, you have to put money down," and your first inclination is, "Don't think so. Put the keys down. Put the keys down to the apartment or to the house or to whatever, and I'll put my money down, and we'll do one of those kind of things, right?" Oh, just saying. Or involved, $50, $100 worth of lawyer work to make sure that you're not getting hammered. And screwed and shafted, and even then, you're not 100% guaranteed that you're not going to get the short end of the stick. So, welcome to America, where it's great to scam everybody, no matter what your station and capabilities of life are.